y'all, welcome to Glam Life. As you guys can see, I'm prepping my client. You always want to make sure that you prep her with a wet shampoo cape and that you put a clean towel on her neck to make sure that when we take her to the bowl that she is comfortable and that things are according. Right now, as you guys can see, I'm taking out her braids. My client here, she is currently pregnant. So as you see, I'm detangling her hair first before I take her to the bowl, because typically when you've taken out a protective style or something that you've had your hair in for a while, you want to make sure that you detangle first before going to the bowl, because if not, you're going to be in a matting world of trouble. And then you'll spend so much more time detangling than you will over the overall service. So make sure that you guys don't forget that tip first. Make sure that she's set and ready to go to the bowl. And as you guys can see, what I'm doing right now, I'm prepping her hair. I want to wet it first before I put any products on it, just to make sure that the products are going to be able to be absorbed throughout her hair. As you guys can see right now during this first shampoo, it's not really lathering up like that. And so what that typically means is that that client's hair is like super full of debris and dirt, and that it's going to take a second or third shampoo in order for her hair to get completely clean. So as you guys can see, that's what I'm getting ready to do. I started off with a deep cleanse or a purifying first so that I can actually remove all of that product that she previously had on her hair, considering that she did have in a protective hairstyle, just so that it's not a heavy or filmy feel once it's time for me to bring her up from the bowl and that her hair is completely clean. Alright guys, after you've deep cleansed, you want to make sure that you follow up with your second or third shampoo, which would be your hydrating or moisturizing shampoo. You want to make sure that you follow up with that shampoo, because a lot of people tend to resort to drying or stripped hair when they've missed one step. So make sure that you implement that step, guys, so that you guys don't run into dry or stripped natural hair or relaxed. I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but I've had to shampoo her hair more than 3 times, because like I said, she had in a protective style and her hair was very heavy of debris, product buildup, edge control, grease, things of that sort. So I had to remove all of that first before I could even go into the final step of conditioning, because once I condition, it's actually sealing in that product back into that cuticle. So I didn't want to create a heaviness for her hair, so I removed all of that products first, and then I went in with the conditioner and massaged it a little bit just so I can stimulate her hair growth and keep it going, you know. Make sure as well that once you put the conditioner in, that you're detangling as you go. As you guys, I'm doing more of a stroking motion so that it's not so much for me to detangle once I get back to the chair. Also, don't forget to implement your cool water. When you're rinsing with your cool water after the shampoo, what that does is closes the client's cuticle so that it promotes more of a healthy shine, a healthy luster, and so that her hair is not open and just accepting all of everything within the strand or the cuticle. And we can't forget sanitation. I know a lot of people are like, girl, COVID is gone. But at the end of the day, y'all, we should have been doing this before COVID. So don't forget to sanitize. Now, as you guys can see, my client's hair is still super tangly. And like I've mentioned before at the beginning of the video that she is expecting. So this is a tip for the moms that are expecting or that has had a pregnancy and wasn't sure what was going on. Typically when you're pregnant, and because she's a relaxed client, your hair goes through a phase of shedding because it's trying to transition into now you're taking those prenatals, the baby is in a space of growing, and so your hair is going to go through those changes because, like I said, remember that whatever happens throughout your body, it tends to show up in your hair. That's whether it's stress, having a baby, starting a new nutrition, taking medications, things of that sort. So make sure that you guys pay attention to that when you're detangling, if you're ever at a space of like, whoa, my hair is coming out, what's really going on? And so right here, what I'm doing, as you guys can see, I'm detangling her hair. I know a lot of people tend to kind of just go right in with the comb and start from the root. But as you guys can see, I'm kind of starting more towards the ends, and I'm taking my time to properly detangle so that, one, she's not removing excessive hair, and two, so that I'm not creating a sore scalp, or so that the client is comfortable overall, as you can see. Personally, I like to use a big tooth or a wide tooth comb to detangle so that the person or the client doesn't lose as much hair. I know typically when people use like a brush or a wet brush or something like that, it kind of removes more hair than wanted. So what the comb does allows me to evenly distribute the detangling, and then she still has a head full of hair. Okay, and so now what I'm doing, I'm sectioning the client's hair so that it's easier for me to create the actual foundation for her press. What the sectioning does, it helps you control the hair so that it's not all over the place. You have more easier timing, and then as you can see, I have more control over the client's head. And so as you can also see, what I'm doing, I started my blow drying from the back, and I started from her ends and worked my way up to the roots. You want to always make sure that you're doing that technique because it's easier, it's faster, it's more of a convenience for the natural cuticle of the client's hair. As you can see, I'm blow drying down. I want to remove some of the water before I go straight in because I'm not wanting to create any damage or any excessive heat damage to her cuticle. So you want to make sure that you're handling those proper techniques just so that you can get the desired results. And as you can see, I literally just kept that same technique until I finished with her blow drying process. kind of went in a little bit here, double time, just to make sure that her scalp was completely dry. You don't ever want to go into a client's scalp with a heating tool and their scalp is not completely dry. That's not going to be good. You remember back in the day when mama used to burn your scalp? That scalp probably won't completely dry. You know, I had to get that branding in real quick. Check the dry cape. We don't want a wet towel sitting on her neck, so I needed to switch it up for her real quick. And right now I'm just going in with a little bit of a heating serum. And as you can see, I'm sectioning out that part. If you were to look really close up that with that section I just pulled out, that's where she had a little bit of like white follicles, like was kind of like sticking out. And that typically means that her hair was overly tight or overly pulled during her last protective service. So guys, make sure that you're not extensively pulling or having tight braids, because what that can do eventually is create alopecia or traction hair loss. So keep that in mind, guys. And now time for the press. You want to make sure that you always allow your client to hold their ear, because you know some people can be traumatized. Like I said, mama used to burn their scalp and she damn sure didn't give a care about that ear. So make sure that you allow them to hold their ear so that there's no continued traumatization and that the client is comfortable. As you can see, I'm starting at the back nape so that I can make sure that all of the hairs are at a straight and are in a straight state, so that I'm not leaving any hair behind. And here, what I decided to do, I went in with my H2 Pro Black Diamond Ceramic Iron. As you can see, it's showing up a natural shine within the hair, and what that's giving is a positive ion, so that, like I said earlier, it's closing her cuticle so that it creates that natural luster, versus if you can sometimes see like a dry Silkpress, or a Silkpress that's kind of heavy of oils. Here she's not worrying about any heavy oils. She has a kind of clean press, and without any burning or excessive heat to her hair, she's in a good place. I'm literally going with a couple passes at the root to make sure her roots are straight, and then I'm going through with one pass throughout that cuticle or that hair shaft, and I'm moving on. And now you just continue the same technique on the opposite side. And you literally just keep that same technique until you're done with the complete press. Ooh, it's the body and the shine for me. Honey, come on. And now for the trim, please. As you guys can see, my client, she is not slouched, hunched over. What I have her doing is sitting up straight, got that booty all the way to the back of that chair. Her feet are level and her chin is up so that I can make sure that she gets the most accurate trim possible. When you start out, what you do is you create a base or a guideline so that as you're making your way around the client's head, you have something that'll guide you to make sure that you get the even trim. And then as you guys can see, I don't just go around the bottom, because sometimes people can have split ends, they can have layers. And so what I did, I went in at the bottom first, created that guide, and then I went throughout her hair and created a little bit of an extra trim at a elevated space or an elevated angle, so that I can get, like I said, the most accurate trim as possible, so that she wouldn't continue to have any split ends. Now, I would personally suggest this technique because a lot of people run into where they have to go within a little bit more and cut due to the fact that the split end has went up the strand. So to avoid that, as you guys can see, I'm kind of going in a little bit here, and I'm going to get all of those dead ends off. And then she can have a little bit extra body throughout her hair versus it being just straight down. And so here, what I decided to do is just go in and add a little bit of curl so she can have some longevity and some body within her press. I went in using my Hair Magician's Plush Smooth Iron. It's ceramic as well, just so that I'm not extra heat styling her hair. As you guys can see, I used the H2 Pro first, which was the ceramic iron, but it had the black diamond plates. And so here it has the ceramic plates as well, but it's not as much heat than it would have been if I went right in with the H2 Pro immediately. And then her hair would have kind of been at a straighter state. So I wanted to create more of a body versus straight. Now here's the process where I add in a little extra to that silk press. If you guys ever notice, like, my silk press tends to last an extra week or extra couple of days. What this process does right now is I'm silkening out the hair a little bit more with some saran wrap. So what I'll do, I'll take my paddle brush and start wrapping it in a circular motion around the client's head. Typically people are like, man, the hair be so straight, I just can't get it wrapped. Guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure that you're able to get it in this circular motion so that it helps keep the compactness of the actual style, and then you have longevity, continued body, and silkiness. Also with this process, it allows the client's natural oils to come out versus me having to follow up with a excessive amount of oil, excessive amount of shine. It's going to bring out her natural luster, and I don't even have to overuse products. Now with this specific part, I like to tell my clients, all right, look, if you start to sweat, come on out. If not, I'll take you out on my own. And now I like to let the clients know that, because hey, I didn't do all that work for you to sweat your hair out and for us to start back at row one. So I let her spend at least 5 to 6 minutes under the dryer. Then I bring her right back out, and here are the finishing results. Remember, it isn't living, it's a lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching Glam Life TV. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.